Y'all saw the title. Y'all saw the title. Come on now. We saw the title. So you know I'm about to get on here talking about particularly women who subscribe to the idea that being good saves you or makes you a better person. I promise it don't. I promise it don't. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it today. I'm your host, Love Goddess. So, what does being good look like? And I want to be clear that when I say being good, I'm talking about the idea of a good girl, a good young woman, a good adult woman. Because we talk about women here. We talk about AFAB people. We talking about me, former me. So there are 3 stages to being good as a woman that we are taught within our Western society, specifically the United States. So, to be a good little girl, you need to be obedient to your overlords, aka your parents. When you're little, when you're a little youngin', you're not supposed to talk back. You're supposed to be seen and not heard. You're supposed to just follow all the rules. Do everything that is asked of you. Be adorable, but not too much, and sweet and not too much. Just not too much. You're supposed to fit in a box. And throughout all of these stages, you're supposed to fit in a box. But as a little girl, that's where they meaning your parents, your extended family, your teachers, all the people around you who are supposed to be informing you about yourself. That's where they will start to tell you what it means to be a good girl. The seen and not heard. You're supposed to eat all your vegetables, and some of these things are good. These are general things that you should remember for all genders and for the rest of your life, but it is heavily placed on little girls. When I was a little girl, I was taught that in church, because even though I'm a heathen, I did go to church from time to time. I was taught that good girls only wear skirts and dresses to church. I was taught that as a itty bitty girl. And so I did not wear pants, jeans, shorts, anything of the sort when I was little going to church. And also there are all these rules as you transition from little girl into young woman, teenager, to how you're supposed to dress, how you're supposed to speak, how you're supposed to act. You're supposed to be this sweet, still not heard, seen but not heard teenage girl who again follows all the rules, has no desire to date, to go to parties, to drink, to smoke, to have certain types of fun. And honestly, it depends on who your overlords are for what type of fun is okay for you as a good girl, a good teenager. You're not supposed to do anything fun, anything that could shame your parents, shame your community. You hold everyone's reputation on your back. Yours, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your grandparents, your teachers, your uncles and aunties, niggas up the block. You hold everything on your shoulders and in between your legs, which is why as a teenage girl, to be good, you're not supposed to be having sex. You're not supposed to be even thinking about sex. You're not even supposed to know what birth control is. Why? What you need birth control for? You good, right? You good. Okay. And the 3rd stage of being a good girl is when you become a woman. And when you're a woman, you are still supposed to be seen but not heard. To be real, you're supposed to date to love or date to get married. So you're not supposed to be having a hoe face. You're not supposed to be out here wearing scantily clad clothing. You're not supposed to be in the club and then going to church. You only supposed to like get wine with your friends and talk about men all the goddamn time. Until slowly but surely all your friends become married, and then that's when you have a good girl, good woman crew. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to follow that script to be good. You're supposed to be classy. I hate that fucking word. I hate that word so much. You're supposed to be classy. You're supposed to be respectable. You're supposed to be sweet. You're never supposed to make anyone upset. You're not supposed to yell. You're supposed to still follow that script. Still be in that box. That box is suffocating. It's suffocating. It's not made for real people. Real people have quirks. Real people have idiosyncrasies. And when you follow the script of being a good girl, you're honestly supposed to lose all that. All the things, all the little stuff that makes you you, that directly goes up against the script, the idea, you're supposed to let that fall. And then a little part of you dies inside every time you do it. Every time when you're a little girl and you want to talk to your parents about something and they say, they wave you off. That kills a little part of you. Every time when you're a teenage girl and you want to talk to your parents or anyone about your crush, and then they shame you for liking people. They shame you for having normal feelings that come up during that time period. A little part of you dies, and then you learn you're supposed to lie. You're either supposed to suppress your feelings so much so that you forget that you have them, or in order to survive, you lie. You lie about who you're seeing, who you're hanging out with, where you're going. What are you doing when you get there? How long were you staying out? Were you drinking? You lie about all that stuff. All that stuff you start to lie about when you're a teenager. And then when you become a woman, that's all you know how to do. Either you know how to follow the script and not do anything that deviates from it, not do anything that could be perceived as you being bad, you being disobedient, anything terrible, anything that our society deems as unnecessary for a woman to be. You either live there and slowly die inside, or you reject it as a woman, and then you start to get hate from everyone. Why are you doing this, and why are you doing that, and why are you dressing like this, and why are you fucking these people, and why are you hanging out with them? Don't you know that they hoes? I know they hoes. I'm a hoe too. I've been hoeing the whole fucking time. I just couldn't tell you because you would have labeled me a whore. True story. Was labeled a whore pretty early on. Does it hurt sometimes when I think about it? Yeah, it does. Because it hurts everyone. It's supposed to hurt. It's a hurtful thing to say to someone, especially someone who's just trying to figure it out. But we don't allow women and girls to figure it out. We already figured it out for you. See this? See this little script? You're supposed to follow that script. And then you do. Because no matter what you do, you fall into it. And you realize that all the things that it's supposed to protect you from, it don't. Like if you cover yourself, you're supposed to be protected from assault or sexual harassment. That don't happen. Or you're supposed to be protected from just men in general. That don't happen. You're supposed to be protected from rumors. If you don't do anything, no one can say anything about you. Please stop telling your kids that. Everyone has rumors on them. Everyone gets talked about. Being a good girl does not save you in general. Being a good girl also does not bring you closer to the men that you want. Because more often than not, they don't want the good girl. They want the girl like me. Being a good girl does not save you. It does not make you holy. That superiority complex that a lot of good girls and former good girls like me, we start to believe that it's okay to act that way, to shame other women. That's how we get pick-me's. That's how we get pick-me's. That's how we get pick-me's. Hopefully I put a description of what a pick-me is. And maybe later on I'll do a whole nother video just detailing what pick-me's are. That superiority complex that you got where you feel like you're better than other women because you go to church, because you still see your family and talk to your family even though they talk shit about you, they talk bad about you. But it's okay because you're still a good daughter and you're still a good sister. You're still good. Where has that goodness helped you? Where did that goodness save you? It didn't. It didn't save you at all. So how do you stop? How do you stop being a good girl? How do you stop subscribing to that bullshit script? How do you get out of that box? You have to acknowledge that you're in the box first. And acknowledge that you're there. Acknowledge that you are being pushed and have been pushed into that space that doesn't fit. And you have to get tired of being there. Because nothing will change unless you get tired of it. And once you get tired of it, then slowly start to change things. Start to play around with, you know, your clothing, your makeup, the way you speak. Start to journal. Start to write out all the things that you've wanted to do, and then start doing them. Start to notice the friends that you have around you. Have honest discussions with them about you realizing that you're a good girl and you understanding that you don't want to be there anymore. And in that moment, you'll see which friends are for you and which friends are not. Because your friends are very important during this process of transitioning out of from a good girl to a heathen. Being a heathen is so much fun. Being a heathen is so much fun. And it's so much easier being a heathen when you don't have friends and family members and coworkers or whoever is trying to influence you that you're doing the wrong thing, the bad thing, that you're sinful, that you're evil, or that you're ugly. And also, be prepared for people to not be on your side. It makes people very uncomfortable when you choose yourself rather than the script, rather than the idea of what a good woman is, what a good girl is. It makes people uncomfortable. Why? There are a lot of reasons why. That, again, I could talk about in a whole nother video. But be prepared for hate to be lobbed at you. Be prepared for you to lose friends, for your family members to talk shit about you, for your coworkers to look at you and say that you're acting funny, that you acting different. Be prepared for more men to say shit about you if it hasn't already happened. Watch your male friends. Because as soon as you stop being a good girl and start going out here in these streets, running through the six with your woes, watch your male friends who said that they're actually just platonic friends. See how many of them will try to get with you. Oh, well, since you doing this, I thought that maybe we could kick it. No, that means that you were not really my friend. You were just waiting until I was ready to fuck you. Be prepared for your life to change, because it will. And it's okay. It's okay for your life to change. because you're leaving a whole identity. And that's okay. It's okay for you to leave that identity in that box that don't fit you, that don't fit anybody. Stop being good girls. Start being heathens. Start being heathens 2021. Start being heathens 2022. 2K forever. Be a heathen. That will always be my stance. Be a heathen. You have so much more freedom. You have so much more fun. You love yourself more. Being a good girl, did you notice that you love yourself less and less every day? More and more that you notice how you don't know yourself or you don't love what you see? Let go of that shit. It don't serve you. It don't save you. It don't help you. Be a fucking heathen. Okay? And again, in the comment section, you could tell me I'm wrong. You could tell me that you mad. You could tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's fine. I'm gonna be a heathen anyway. Coming back here every week to make people upset and make them consider changing. That is the point. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.